Let's look at the help.
Welcome back to another episode of It's the Family Podcast. I'm here with my co-host, Christopher Jackson. For our next guest, we have an individual from the city of Chicago, fire department. We'll get into that a little bit more. Background, rehabbing, a lot of different things that we want to know about, and we're going to get into that. Darrel Payne, how you feel, sir?
I'm very good, sir. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, thanks for coming to It's the Family Podcast. We appreciate you stopping by today. We have some questions about just your success, your ascension to the successful industry, like the fire department, how you actually ascended the ladder in your profession. So first and foremost, welcome, and thank you for stopping by. We had a question to ask when we first started out. We usually ask favorite genre of music.
I'm a hip hop head, so growing up, pretty much as an adolescent in the '80s. Again, that's when it first started, and I grew to love it. But also being from Chicago, I'm a house head too, so I'm kind of torn.
Oh, a house can't get enough.
I can't get enough.
Now, when we're going through, say you grew up in Chicago, favorite genre of music, hip hop, favorite band, favorite group, rap group, or whatever.
De La Soul is actually my favorite rap group.
Song.
It's a combination between Stakes Are High. If you're a De La fan, you know what that is.
Right.
And then Jenny. If you're a De La fan, you know what that is. So they're my two favorite De La songs.
Okay. I see you got like a little hoodie on there. Can you share with our audience what's that hoodie and what it's a tribute to?
Absolutely. Hundreds by Nature. Absolutely. This is, I grew up in Roseland. So big up to everybody from the block on 117th Street. Big up to my man Jerome, the Wild Wild 100 store over there on Halsted. 12723 South Halsted. Again, I'm born and raised in Halsted. Everything was 60628 for me all the way up until I was about 20 years old.
Okay,
so high school was my only exception. That was at Inglewood, but that was at Lindblom.
See, my, I guess, knowledge of the hundreds, people used to always say, God made the hundreds, but man made the wild.
That's right.
So
That's right.
Any significance behind that statement, or just like, man, y'all go get it when y'all need to get it done?
We go get it when, so it is, there's so much history that goes into the hundreds. And again, it didn't just start once people started paying attention to all the bad things that happened. We was insulated. We didn't have to go downtown and get a lot of stuff. We had our own theater. We had our own department store at Gately's right there on 112th and Michigan. We had a Woolworth that had a ice cream parlor on the corner. You sit there and look outside. Coffee Pot, the restaurant there, used to gather all of the politicians, the black politicians. You could walk in there and see Harold Washington.
Okay.
Like literally, this is, I remember this as a kid. And then the crack epidemic happened. Okay. And everything changed. Literally, it seemed like in a period of 3 to 5 years. And stores started closing because people wasn't supporting the stores like they used to. A lot of the money ended up going for their addiction. You was either using or you were selling. Like I say, I was so blessed that my block was insulated. We some way or another, we escaped all of it. We put all our energy into something sports oriented. Basketball, football, baseball, strikeout. They used to call our block the game block as opposed to the gang block.
Okay.
We played something. It was it. Catch a girl, kiss a girl, anything to keep us out the streets.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Before we get back in our conversation, I want to shout out Old Fashioned Donuts, another staple.
Oh, absolutely.
And then AP Deli,
absolutely.
Yeah, that was
Herman's Army Surplus Store. Oh man, don't take me back there. Too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so kind of like give us a background. You say you grew up in Inglewood, you went to high school, and you grew up in the hundreds, went to high school in Inglewood, so apologies about that. And then from once you graduated from high school, where did your life take a turn, or where did you go from there?
So literally 6 days after graduation, I went to the military, went to basic training.
What branch?
Army, Illinois National Guard.
Okay.
So I went to the National Guard. Big up to all the 31 kilos, Como dogs. At that time, we were still climbing poles and putting wires in sand. Now everything is so computerized. If you're a communication specialist, you're looking at You know Microsoft and Cisco because everything is so digital now. The world is so different. But yeah, I went to basic training, came home. Now looking for a job. One of the guys that was at the drugstore that I was I'll take that back. One of the guys I was in the National Guard with was working at a drugstore, got me a job there. From there, I went to Walgreens. From Walgreens, I ended up getting hired at FedEx. I tell everybody I really had a great adventure when it comes to life. I've done a lot.
Oh, okay.
I've done a lot. From blue collar to military to white collar, all the way to now where I am with the fire department.
I'm gonna let my co-host ask his first question, and
Well, first I want to say congratulations on how you moved up the ladder in a short amount of time. Because they don't expect black people to move up that fast. They looking at 30 years. You have to just go. You get promoted by seniority. But but like you did it for the skills, which is a good thing. So a lot of young people love to hear that because they think they ain't got no opportunity. But my biggest thing is I know you're talking about you do the rehabs. That's one of the big ones I was wanted to talk to someone about because I was looking at like a lot of auctions things to then do the rehab. I was going to ask you, that's a good route to go through.
So real estate it's like anything else. When you say real estate, that's a big umbrella.
Right.
You kind of have to know what it is that you want to do. Okay. If you got a purpose for your purchase, it's going to make things a lot easier for you. So if you're looking for a steady cash flow, then you more than likely going to plan on renting out. If you're looking for a big capital gain, you're going to be trying to rehab, get everything fixed up, and then sell it for a profit. And there's multiple ways to buy. So again, if you got the time, short sales are great. Auctions, normally if you're cash heavy, that works the best. If you have good credit or if you have great deals, you can do hard money lending, or you can literally do true lending through a bank if you have the 20% down for an investment property. It all depends on your circumstance. But at the end of the day, it all depends on which side of real estate do you want to be on. And it totally depends on the person.
Oh, that's weird because actually I was going to do both. But I want to do the rental and the flipping. But the rental one, I don't know how to rent houses. When I come to rental, I want to only do like a condos.
Okay.
Because it's easier for people to rent apartments than move into a house.
Well, it all depends. So,
because I think you get single people or something like that.
A lot of it's mindset too.
Yeah.
So if you put somebody into a building with other people around them, they're gonna feel like they live in an apartment. Because they're living in a building, they're sharing certain spaces, so common areas, laundry rooms and hallways, whatever the case may be. You put somebody in a house, it's a sense of ownership. So things that you have to do at your building, you may not actually have to do at a single family house, like cut grass or shovel snow. Because you're like, hey, I'll take $50 off your rent.
Right.
You go ahead and knock this stuff out for me.
Yeah, that's the only thing I'm afraid of. Some people have been living in an apartment all their life, and they get to a house, they kind of like forget some of those things they need to do there to keep ups, the upkeeps and stuff like outside, different things like that. Just any little minor little thing, making sure you're turning the sprinklers on so the water can sprinkle the grass so the water won't be dead. Maybe the grass won't be dead all summer. Just little minor stuff like that.
Oh, that's big stuff. It's big stuff when you have an owner mentality.
Yeah.
And like you say, when you're dealing with a renter, that may not be the case.
Yeah, and property taxes are cheaper.
When
I do it on a condo than
oh, absolutely.
home. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Then of course where you are. If you're in Chicago, your property tax is gonna be cheaper. If you're doing something in the south suburb, Cook County area, it's gonna be more expensive.
Right. Yeah, because I know I was looking at the auction and the foreclosed. Because I figured like the foreclosed, they gonna normally could be worth $500,000 home. You're over $100,000. The bank they'll start the auction off at $100,000.
It's all so the trick is the basics. If you stick with the basics, buy low, sell high. Mm-hmm. That's always start with that.
Oh,
so
definitely.
The better that you can get the lowest price, but then you also have to look at how much do I have to put into it. So you have to add those two numbers. What's going to be my rehab? What's going to be my purchase? And what's going to be my gap between those two numbers and me selling it? What's that profit look like? Is it worth the work?
Oh, yeah, definitely on that one. Yeah, because I want to go in. I take 3 months gutting out that place and be doing it. And I'm looking for something I can just go get today. So I'll take about 3 or 4 weeks of rehab, but I put it on the market today, doing that 3 weeks rehab. Because by the time you get people to come there, 2 weeks to went past. So you have like a week left. The minor rehab, they come in, you let them know, hey, it's gonna be it's gonna be this is a new kitchen, and they can vision that in their head too. Like, oh, okay, you gonna have this separate cabinet in there? Yeah, we have this, and that. Like, oh, okay, so everything is new.
Vision make a difference.
Oh yeah.
Because see, here's the thing: if you walk into a property and be like, "Oh, this not too bad," then everybody else gonna walk into their property and say, "Oh, this ain't too bad." So now you got competition.
Right.
You can walk in there and everybody else say, "This is horrific. I don't want no parts of it." But you got a vision.
Oh yeah, that's what I said. We have like a laptop sitting there, for example, showing me what the kitchen's gonna look like. You go to like AI programs, so like Home Depot has, show you how your kitchen would look with the new cabinets and countertops and things like that. So yeah,
It
that's
sounds like
definitely.
you already got the plan. You don't need me.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for the money.
That's right.
That's all I'm waiting on. But yeah, definitely.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you a question, Mr. Payne.
Yes, sir.
You get the house or apartment or a place fixed up. Now you put it on the market. Have you ever had that problem with squatters coming in and saying, "Hey, Mr. Payne wrote me a lease, and here I am, and now I'm in your house, and now you can't sell that house, or you can't rent that house"? Have you ever had that happen to you?
I've heard the horror stories, and I have been extremely blessed. I have never experienced it. I'm big on doing the things that would prevent as much headache as possible. So I have an alarm system in there already. If I'm going to do a Wi-Fi and I can get cameras, that's going to make things just that much easier, because it's going to show that person that I actually have access from me, they found the way in.
Okay.
So these things help you out even if you have to go to court. Knowing when the courts will allow for evictions, because that's a big day. That day when they allow for eviction, they're immediately going to look for somewhere else. So on that day, you need to almost be at your property, be like, "Yep, not this one."
See, I'm a big fan of what you doing here? Oh, okay then. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. I'm a big one of those. Okay, give me a couple more minutes. All that stuff can be in the yard on the ground.
Yeah, like I said, I've been fortunate. I've heard some.
I ain't got time for courts.
I've heard some horror stories, and I've seen some people that did it the right way, and was able, because things were set up correctly, they was actually able to get them out relative. What's funny about our area, Chicago, it is set up for squatters more than it is for property owners.
Right.
Like literally, they were like, "Well, you don't have to give them 48 hours." Why? I didn't give them permission to come in here in the first place.
Right.
I'm gonna call the police. You ain't gotta worry about that part.
Hey, it seems like you're making up your own rules.
Right.
I know, right?
Hey, I don't know why they here. They ain't got no reason to be here, so I ain't got no reason to call the police. I'm not being harmed. I say, trust me. I just tell them like that to do. Give me 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
I try to stay within the confines of the law as much as I possibly can.
We're law-abiding citizens.
I ain't breaking no law. Hey, trust me, when I come back 5 minutes, I ain't breaking no laws. I'm just kind of be picking up the stuff that was left in my place. I'm giving them an option. Like, hey, you want to take this out, or you want me to do it?
Fair enough. I say there's multiple ways to skin that cat.
You're doing this for a income and continue on. He's
That's
doing
right.
it for a short thing. He's like, I'm going to get these people out. I'm not interested in any other. See, you're interested in establishing a relationship.
Absolutely.
Not only with the building, the real estate, but with the city.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's key.
Super important.
The city, like you're saying, kind of go into that a little bit, how so many rules and regulations, so many things that are added on in regards to taxes that make you kind of get squeamish in a little bit, in a way to say, hey, maybe I might need to leave the city, or I may need to kind of switch gears and do something else.
Their permitting process leaves a lot to be desired. The taxes are changing year over year. The laws in regards to they're more pro renter than they are pro landlord. So people that don't want to have long-term investments where they're holding on to those properties for cash flow, I more than understand it. If you end up paying a property management company to do it, now you're losing a percentage of your cash flow.
Right.
So it's a lot of things to consider. You have to kind of have an idea, what do you expect from each door? It's going to be $250 a month that I expect from each door, or am I really get a great property that my mortgage is so low in the area that I'm in, I can ask for a certain amount of rent where I can possibly get a $600-$700 cash flow for each door. So it's a lot to consider.
So kind of help our listeners understand, our viewers understand. I stay in your place. I don't pay rent. You give me a 5-day notice.
That's correct.
And I still stay there. So literally you have to go to court and wait for your court date. And then if it's in the wintertime, it's even worse.
Yes, because they will not, especially if that particular family have children under the age of 13, they're not going to immediately evict that family. So you will carry the cost of that property owner or that landlord until the first day of spring, and then you can call the sheriff to come get them out of your place.
So there's no way to offset that cost on you as a landlord. You literally got to, if you don't pay it, they'll take your property. So literally you have to pay for somebody else
To live in your place.
Wow.
There are actually professional tenants in the city of Chicago that know how to go anywhere between 6 to 9 months out of the year and not pay rent.
I had a story I heard of an individual I know. He had property. Again, we all deal with and dabble. We're here to dabble in real estate. Individuals came to view apartment. The lady came with a nice pantsuit, had the kids dress up in suits, and they were saying yes sir and no sir. And based off of that, he rented. And he said, "Oh my God, it was just like the worst thing that he experienced." And he said another young lady came to him, was like, "Hey," he went through that first time. Another young lady came to him, was like, "Hey, I got some nice people that could rent from you." She said, "But they don't have a job." He said, "Well, give me some bad people with a job." I thought that was quite funny. Because again, he wanted to be able to pay his bills and want to keep his property intact. So this whole real estate thing you're talking about is unique, especially to the Chicagoland area.
It's definitely an investment. Any investment is going to have risk and reward.
True.
You try to minimize your risk with as much studying. You don't want to go through the school of hard knocks. You're going to get that lesson if you decide to just jump in head first. But at the end of the day, you try to get as much information. Again, what we're doing right now, just talking, passing along stories to give you an idea of what's going on.
Okay.
Even downstate right now, they're passing laws. And again, I haven't read it, so I'm going to take it as not rumor.
Right.
But literally now, my understanding is you can no longer do background checks.
Wow.
Which is absolutely bananas to me. That was one of the ways to actually find out, do you have a history of paying your bills? So as a landlord, you cannot judge a person if you want to rent to them based on their.
So literally it's a gut feeling to rent. So literally.
I think the only thing you probably can do is just they rent before somebody else, give them the phone number from there and just verify with the previous landlord. Yeah, they paid on time, things like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Unless their cousin Jimmy pick up the phone.
But the way he said, if they don't pay him his rent, he said, "I'll be right back." But you actually had those individuals move in.
I'm talking about squatters.
Oh.
Only for squatters.
You're going to treat the renters a little bit different.
Yeah, they're a little different by the law. The squatters now, they got to go like the guy on TV. He had to pay like $4,000 just to get him out of his own place.
Absolutely.
If he'd waited another week, he got him out free.
Yeah.
Because by then, the police showed up and said, "Oh, yeah, you're right. They shouldn't be here. She done ran this scam already on another place."
And she already got an eye on somewhere else.
Yeah, we gave him $4,000 and moved out.
But that all it can go back to if you fix up your own house and getting ready to sell it. It could be the same way also.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Hopefully you living in an area that's less likely for them to actually go to. They have specific places where they have an idea. What you kind of want to do is this is a way to go up. Make your place look like someone living in it already. Okay. So while you actually working on it, of course, you have to have a permit in your window, whatever. As soon as this live-in ready, remove that permit.
Okay.
Right.
Remove the permit. Go to Home Depot, buy the little paper curtains. You would spend $50, maybe $100 to cover every window, but now it look like somebody lives in your place. So the likelihood of somebody coming in.
Oh yeah, because a lot of the time, like you said, they just be driving past like, I haven't seen nobody go in that house.
That's right. Go to that place, open the curtains every now and then, you leave. And the next time you come back, you close the curtain back. That's less likely that somebody gonna be there.
I get those little things like Google things for the light. You can on your phone.
That's right.
Like, I'm turning on the living room light tonight. Boom, tomorrow be the kitchen light.
Absolutely. And it's real easy. If you have one of the alarm systems, they give you the little pad, you stick in the outlet, you get a lamp, you put in there from your home, you just turn the light on.
Yeah.
That's interesting because, again, all these things, this new technology is in play. Again, you're doing this, so they thinking one step, or individuals. I'm just kind of, for individuals, we're talking about for individuals that want to own property or flipping.
Absolutely.
The dangers, the positives, and the negatives. Again, all the rental income, that's a positive. But when somebody actually moves out, you have to spend so much money to actually replenish that apartment or make that apartment look rentable again.
Absolutely. That comes from intelligent investing. So the money that you make is not all profit, regardless, even if it's coming into your bank after the fact that you can pay it off all the mortgages or the bills. You have to save something for maintenance and upkeep. That's part of really the discipline of it. The beauty of real estate is if it's an investment property, year over year, you're gaining equity into your property, but you're not paying it. Your tenants are actually paying it. It's also a major benefit. That's something that you can hand down to following generations. You get to a point, again, you got to be forward thinking. If I can get to a point where I'm 75% paid on one of my buildings, or even 100% paid, that's a gift to a kid or a grandkid. Like, literally, this is your cash flow at this point. That's something that can pay college tuitions and things along that line. And again, but you have to raise them in the mentality, because that's also an opportunity to be like, hey, you give me this building, it's mine now. Right. It was an asset to you, but it's about to be cash to me because I'm selling it as soon as I get it. Okay. So literally, you have to train them to be investment minded as well.
Okay. So now you sell it, you got to pay taxes at a depreciation or income tax or a sliding scale.
If you actually have the property for over a year, there's capital gains test. If it's long term, you have the property for more than a year. I want to say it's at 15%. But the capital gains for a short term, like you were talking about, holding on to it for 3 to 6 months or whatever, that's at 25%. So that's really popping. So again, all these things need to be added up and included when you're actually looking at, okay, what is this investment property going to really bring me in? If you look at the raw numbers, let's do it real simple. I buy a property for $100,000. I got to put $100,000 into it. I'm going to sell it for $400,000. In a lot of people's mind that I just made $200,000, but you absolutely did not, because you got holding costs for how long you hold on to that property.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Then you also got the taxes that you have to pay. Whatever the deal is in the closing, because things now are customary inside of Chicago where you're gonna pay this percentage of their closing or whatever the case may be. So it's a lot of different things. So what you thought was $200,000 may literally only be $100,000 profit. Now, it's weird to say only $100,000, but how much work did you put in? If this one of those projects that you had held on to that property for a year and a half, you're not necessarily looking for $100,000. You're looking for the biggest pop that you can possibly.
Oh yeah, and you have to hold it on that long. Yes, definitely.
So the longer it's a detriment. Some people, the way we're looking at it, it's a detriment to hold on to property long term. Some people might look at it like, hold on to the property, that could be more profit for me. But when you really look at it, it's actually less profit because you got to put more upkeep in it, more holding costs, as you would say, continue to pay the mortgage, the light, the gas, the security, and not to count that the upkeep. Say something happens while you have that property, a pipe burst, or gets cold outside in Chicago and you get a pipe that bursts inside the wall. Now that's upkeeping costs. That's those continual costs that literally you don't want to incur. You want to be able to, I hate to say offload, but sell it to another individual so you're done.
Absolutely. The longer you hold on to anything, the greater that liability going to be. Again, you're looking at a bigger number at the end in your mind. But let's do it like this. I hold on to a property for a year and I make $75,000 off that property.
Right.
He hold on to a property for 3 months. He do that 4 times. He just made $100,000. Sometimes you want to work off volume as opposed to just trying to get it all at once. It all depends on the person. True. And it all depends on what was your purpose when you walked into the door. You really got to stay kind of laser focused on it.
So, interesting take. Thank you for informing us with all your knowledge on real estate. Now, we want to get into what most of the audience want to know. fire department, man. Like everybody loves you guys, man. Kind of give us an aspect of how you got to join Chicago Fire Department, correct?
Yes.
How
Chicago
did you
Fire
get on the
Department.
fire department, and how did you ascend through the ranks, and what are your future goals, things of that nature? Just give us a quick synopsis, and we'll go more into it.
So my track on the fire department is absolutely not a straight line. It is a very, I don't know, more like a figure eight when you really want to look at it. I took the entry-level exam, the entrance exam in 1995. I thought I did great on the exam. I knew nothing about working for the city. What motivated me to take the exam, I was working as a computer administrator at the time, and the company closed. But I had a 2-month-old daughter. They was actually offering the test for Chicago and for the fire department as well as police. I know I'm not a cop. In my mind, I was like, that's not what my mentality ain't meant for that. So I took the fire exam. After I took the exam, I was like, okay, they should be calling me anytime now because I felt good. I know I'm a good test taker. And after a couple months, I didn't get the call. I was like, hey, I need a job. So I went on here to FedEx, and that was a whole nother life prior to me getting waived before I got on the fire department. Matter of fact, while I was at FedEx, I ended up getting my degree in managing information systems. They paid for it, so I was more than happy to take it.
Nice.
Yeah, definitely.
I actually stayed at FedEx for 11 years and I actually retired from FedEx. So actually got a pension and all of that from them guys. Once I got my MIS degree, I knew I wanted to get into IT. And IT, again, is not a straight line. What I wanted to get into was networking. So I ended up going to a program all the way out in Irvine, California, which was supposed to have been a 3-month internship. And it ended up turning into a job. And I ended up staying in California for 2 years, which was interesting because my family was in Chicago and I was in California working. So I was paying for 2 different spots.
Wow.
My wife said she was going to come down, and then she changed her mind. I was like, hey, lady, you and my daughter is here. I got to come home now, and I'm not going to leave y'all here.
Right.
Yeah,
So I came back here and found a job. But while I was in California, I ended up getting Cisco certified, Microsoft certified. I was CC for y'all IT nerds. I'm one of them, too. I was a CCNP by the time I left. I was going for my CCIE. While I'm working at a company downtown, I went up the ranks even in IT. And when I left that arena of my life, my white collar career, I was a lead data center network engineer for cars.com. I can actually say that. And then I get this letter talking about the fire department and you have been harmed and you're part of this lawsuit. And you get those in the mail every now and then. But this one was a little different. They were like, even if you do not respond, you are a part of this lawsuit and you will be paid out. I've never seen that before in any of the letter ever. So it made me continue to read. As I read it, found out it was 6,000 people that was actually harmed in that 1995 exam, all people of color. They created a cutoff score that had nothing to do with your proficiency as the possibility of being a firefighter. And they lost in federal court. It made it all the way to the highest level of the court, and they lost unanimously. What that yielded was 111 positions. And out of that 111 positions, it had to be filled by 6,000 people. So they gave you a choice of, did you want the job or did you just want to get paid out? The payout was somewhere in the $10,000, $12,000 range. And the job was a lot more lucrative from the way. So I put my name in a hat. And again, I have a very blessed life. I actually ended up being one of the 111 people that filled the position.
Okay.
So it was, again, I loved it. And with that being said, we was the first ever in this country, ever in the United States, to be a all African-American firefighter class. So that's historic as far as this country is concerned.
Wow, that's unique. That's like, you like the Tuskegee Airmen.
That's right.
The Buffalo Soldiers, man, y'all like a unique take on history.
Absolutely.
That's nice. That's fire, as we say.
Absolutely.
So now you're at the fire department. You had to go through the academy, right?
So I had to go through the academy. So the injunction actually laid it out where you have the opportunity for the job.
Okay.
So you did everything as if you was 21 years old. When you went through the process, you had a whole medical exam.
Okay.
And I gotta say this, there's not one African American that I know that's on the fire department that do not have a story that somewhere in the middle of their process was ended.
Mm.
And what I mean by that, I was working at cars.com. I get a call saying, your blood work just came back, your cholesterol levels are showing high. We're gonna have to end your process. Thank you. And they just hung up on me.
Mm.
Fortunately enough, I was being mentored by people that was already on job. I was expecting a call of some type of sort. I had a great relationship with my doctor. I told him what happened. He said, come in right now. He gave me my numbers. From my numbers, he was like, your numbers are actually better than 95% of the country because my good cholesterol and the ratio, it worked out. When I took it down to medical, they were like, oh, you back in. Now think if you don't have that type of connection, that network where somebody could tell you just because they told you it's ended. Because again, what you think when you get a call saying you're done?
Oh yeah,
you think you're done.
You think you're done? Yeah.
I should have went anyway. You want to like
absolutely. Now you done went through all these other changes and background checks. They done interviewed your parents and your neighbors and everything else, and then you get to this part, it's just like silliness.
Right.
So fortunately enough, I made it through that part. And the only reason why I bring that up, I literally just helped a young brother get on the job maybe a year and a half ago. And he's still going through the same thing. So when he got on the job, they called him, oh, your preliminary exam came back, bro. You have to get some more information, blah, blah, blah. I was his resource. So, sometimes you want to be able to pay it forward. It felt good to be able to send him to the right people, know what to look up, and sure as crap, they gave it back to him like, okay, you're good, your process continues.
Right.
So they're like looking for things to disqualify.
It is literally a reason to get rid of it.
Discourage you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 'cause some brothers be like, man, I took this test 20 years ago anyway, so forget it.
Absolutely. And that's what they want you to do. It's a weed out process.
Yeah. I'm glad, like y'all had that all-black class before Trump got in office. He gonna say that was the DEI program. You probably got to break that up.
It was weird because we weren't even talking DEI. They were still using terms like civil rights. I can take that down a rabbit hole too, but I'm not gonna get into that right now. But so once I got on the job, we went through everything. We went through the academy. Academy is normally 6 months long. Ours ended up being 7.5, and we want to make sure that we grabbed everybody. The hardest part of the academy is the EMT because it's a very cognitive part of the class.
Right.
Now you're dealing with people that's older in age. I actually turned 40 in the academy, and I was far from the oldest. Our oldest person was like 55 years old. So now you actually being ran through with PT and taking tests and taking quizzes and learning this concept and learning that concept, and simultaneously you have to get your EMT license. It's all happening at the same time. Wow. So with all that being said, made it through the academy, and I'm gonna use the term, they gave me 13 years. Why I say that is the injunction, the way it's set up is I'm hired on paper June 1st, 1999. But my actual hire date when I physically walked into the academy was March 16th, 2012. So that was a 13-year gap.
Wow.
They gave me that as far as my seniority on the job. So that included my time and grade as a firefighter. If I go and put in for a spot and they using seniority, you got to include that 13 years from the course.
So your hire date and your pension date is what, 2002? Or
it's actually June 1, 1999.
Nice.
So when you came in, you started on, they gave you that 13 years, so you started on salary-wise.
Absolutely, with 13 years.
Level 13. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Absolutely. If I want to put in for a spot, they were like, okay, it's based on seniority. Okay, I got 13 years.
But the little Ricky White people weren't happy with that part.
Hey, it was a couple people that look like me that weren't happy with that
right.
part. They was on the job already.
Regular one, yeah.
So again, it was a lot that was going on.
How you getting this much? 30,000, 40,000 more than me.
Now, don't get me wrong. That's a massive plus. I understand it, especially when you're getting on the job in the later ages. But when you love the job, like literally, I love being a firefighter.
Right.
The way I look at it, you took 13 years from me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You took 13 years that I can't get back, things that I could have done in my 20s physically that I can't get back. I take tests well. I knew that.
That's good. Yeah.
Out of the 111 that got hired, I'm the second person out of my class to make lieutenant. There's only 3 of us right now that's lieutenants.
Because when I look at those first 13 years, they should have incorporated, because you missed at least 2 tests, maybe 3 tests of promotional, right?
Absolutely.
So
Actually,
maybe,
even more.
Right. So maybe they could have incorporated some of those, like you wouldn't have had to wait. You could have took that test not once, not 2, not twice. And then, like, instead of making it a 3-year gap, a 4-year gap, they could have made it a 6-year gap to make you guys on equal footing. It seems like they gave you the years, but they didn't look at the peripheral. Like, we got the time, but we're not looking at peripheral. Like, we still lost 13 years from not being able to take those tests, to not ascending higher than we could. Because again, you say you're a lieutenant now. What about, you had those 13 years to be a testing, maybe a captain, maybe a
chief.
Yeah.
Maybe a deputy district chief.
Correct.
So if you're looking at my facial expression, it's not because I'm disagreeing with you.
Correct.
It's the fact that I know you're speaking nicely because you're trying to get me riled up. That's what you're trying to do, so that I can actually say how I really feel. So you're a good host. I'm there now. I'm there. We're dealing with the city of Chicago. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was not an accident. Because you got 13 years for everything except for promotion. Everything except why take promotion out?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why remove promotion out of that?
Yeah. Yeah, because you look at some of the people, I know you kind of go in the trajectory. Some people that would start in 1999. You look at those, see, they're chiefs, they're captains.
I got it better for you. So the way our class was built, the way they came up with the number 111, they were like, okay, your constructive hire day is going to be June 1, 99. So we're going to take 5 classes prior to that, and then 5 classes after that, and we're going to figure out how many African Americans traditionally was in those classes. So your class is going to be made up of that average, right? If you use those classes to build the number of people that was going to be in the class, then we should be that should be my peer group.
Right.
That should be the people that I'm on track with. If you're making me whole, I'm on track with them.
Right.
So when I look at their numbers and that group in front of me and behind me, you got 20 lieutenants and then 25 captains and 8 chiefs. And in my whole class, I got 3 lieutenants. Tell me how I'm whole.
Right.
You'll never be whole. That's just something. You'll never be whole. That's something we hate to say that you got to kind of live with it. We don't want to say you got to live with it, but something that you got to kind of reconcile within your mind. Like, hey, this is what it was, but it don't have to be that way because now you made lieutenant, and depending on how long you're going to stay, you could take that information, what you have done. We talked about it. You're teaching classes based on the information that you learned from the fire department. So talk about that. And I'm kind of getting you off of that because I see you got.
You see, I'm riled up.
Yeah.
And you know I'm not about to just let go now. I cannot let go.
Hey,
give me 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes.
Okay, we got equipment in here. We got equipment in here, man. We can't replace this equipment.
So, is there anything left we can do? Yes, we're still fighting. We still swinging like pendulums. We going back to court. We're looking for lost promotional opportunities. My class is still in court right now. So from a court case that literally started in 1998 to get us on a job in 2012, in 2025, we are actually still in court trying to get the promotion apart. It's ridiculous. And the city is still fighting us tooth and nail to make sure that we don't get our just desserts, which is bananas.
Well, a good thing, I think you guys might be already doing it, but a good thing to do, I think those, like you guys, like I said, the 3 lieutenants, the black ones, they should be having class mentoring the other young ones, how to get them moved up on the ladder quicker too. They're very active. Like I say, the one, everybody got their own roles. You're familiar with CPD. With CFD, it's the same way, depending on
which department or which bureau you go into.
Right.
I'm still in operations, meaning I'm still running in the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
I got one of my one of the stronger test takers out of our class, definitely like a brain trust, to be honest. He's down at the airport, and he handles things that's on the airfield and things along that line, crash rigs and things along that line. And then the other lieutenant, he's actually in fire prevention. So everybody got their own lane in regards to what they do. I'm a little bit more active when it comes to going out, talking to the younger people, trying to get them on the job and having a real idea of what that looks like.
Right.
But my guy, Patrick, he's actually another guy that's at the airport. He's real big on taking care of us while we still here.
Okay.
So he was the one that kind of organized everything to get us back in court, get us back in front of the judge, so that we can see if there's an opportunity to try to make it right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But again, I'm just to have the fortitude, go ahead, the type of motivation to go back, not to go. You literally had to go back in your mind to understand that you had to do it in order to move forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's weird because before you get on the job, you don't know about the job.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of this stuff, you start piecing it together. Like, I got this many years, but those people that's in that time frame, these guys are lieutenants already. And they got chiefs. They got captain's exam getting ready to come up, and I can't take it because I'm still a firefighter. But they're taking it, but these are supposed to be my peer group. So it's weird, and you start putting it together, and it's like, okay, what are you going to do? If you're going to sit back and complain about it, or you're going to try to find some way to fight the system.
Right.
So let me ask you, you say you can't take the test because they're all, you say you're a firefighter, so you can't take the test.
Right, in service rank. So as a firefighter, you have 2 tests that you're eligible to take. Either lieutenant or engineer. Engineer for us on the fire side is similar to detective for you guys.
Okay.
So it's not part of the career path where it's lieutenant, captain, chief, DDC, whatever. But it's just off to the side. In order to take a captain exam, you have to already be a lieutenant.
Okay.
In order to take a chief exam, you have to already be
So you're a lieutenant, you
captain.
just don't have enough time.
And I'm a lieutenant right now. But you have to wait for the exam to come up.
Oh, okay.
So ironically, they gave the captain exam maybe 10 months prior to them making me a lieutenant. So I just missed it. And it could be another 4 years before you see another captain exam.
So now you just, the thing I talk to most people are working, in public service, public safety. You have to pay the waiting game.
Yes.
Wait.
It's all
like
about
that
time.
60 minutes clock, tick, tick, tick. So you're waiting, which is crazy in itself to say you got to spend your time to wait.
Absolutely.
To wait on furlough, to wait on...
Absolutely.
So
wait on time to get the spot that you want, to get the assignment that you want. Wait on to actually get to the academy. You got to have this many years to be an instructor, even though you may have been teaching for your entire life. It's just weird. It's just, you got to wait. I agree.
Right.
So, we just any future goals, anything that you're passionate about other than...
I am passionate about retiring soon. That's what I'm passionate about.
I know that's right.
If you got 13 years that came from the judgment and you got 13 physical years and you need 29 in a day, I'm doing the math, baby. I got 3 years left.
Oh, wow.
I know, it's a good feeling.
And that's a beautiful feeling.
Yes.
Just to have that opportunity to have that time back to yourself and still have that income where you're not worried about where your next check coming from. So that's a massive plus.
Oh, yeah.
A massive plus.
Not going to miss it?
I'm going to miss parts of it.
The people?
I'm going to miss part. It's like with anything. There's good and bad. And I'm an optimistic person. I like to focus on the good. There's a camaraderie that goes along with any job that's inherently dangerous, whether it's first responder, if it's soldier, anything that puts you into a situation where you may not make it back home. It sounds dramatic, but it's true.
Oh, yeah.
And man, you create relationships that's hard to explain. It's really hard to verbalize what they actually mean to you. And then you had those silly moments where the only people that can understand you is the people that work with you, because you almost have to be there to fully get the grasp of some of the crap that you see on a regular basis. One difference from police and fire, I actually live with these guys every third day.
Yeah.
So we eat together. We in a bunk room. It's a 24-hour period that we on shift. Again, we got to figure out who's cleaning what area, who got this toilet, who got the kitchen, and who got the bunk room, who's mopping, who's sweeping, who's cleaning out the apparatus floor, what work do we have on the rig that day. So you have to learn how to work together for that 24-hour period. And that's a long day if you just happen to be one of them dudes that don't like nobody. You know, it makes no sense.
Right.
You know?
You guys, that's like a surrogate family. You guys are family more than anything.
Absolutely.
What you guys do? Rotate who's doing the cooking?
You know what? we got houses where some of them dudes are actually true culinary chefs, like true artists, and they enjoy doing it.
Okay.
It depends on the house. You got to understand, we got single houses and double houses. I mean, you got two apparatuses in the house if it's a double house. And then we got combination houses. So you got 2 engines and a truck and 3 chiefs. Those houses are bananas. Normally, you got an entire company cooking those meals because you're cooking for 25 people.
Right.
You know, when you got a single house, you may be cooking for 5 to 7. You know.
So do each day, like you say, every third day. So the third day, people work together. The second day, people work together.
Absolutely.
Y'all got a different refrigerator?
Absolutely. With locks on it and codes.
No trust?
No, absolutely not. Yeah, I trust you on my shift, but you on the next shift, absolutely not.
Oh, man.
We put the little tape on there and make sure ain't nobody open it up. Oh, yeah, we know.
Get out of here. You guys, every third day, you got to come in with a little money or something? How does
Yes, so they got a food club, and it depends on the house. You got some people that's great shoppers, and they can do it with $20. And other people can do it 25. And then you got some people that need 30. You know, and then it depends on the size of the house. It depends on the quality of the cook. You know, they say some of my cooks and some of my crooks. You got to know which one you're dealing with.
$20, I'm only spending $20 on your meal. What I do with the other 20?
That's right. Hey, that's a good question. That's what we asking too. What you do with that other 20?
Yeah,
Give me the receipt.
Yeah, give me one. Put the receipt up. This one I got.
Hey, they ain't give me one.
Yeah. That's what I would want to see, because you get 3 meals out of that.
Normally it's 2 and leftovers. So literally we cook a lot of food. And
Okay.
so whatever was left over from the day before is normally breakfast, and then you get lunch and dinner.
Okay. And do they do like no pork, no gluten-free and all?
Whatever it is that you have, as long as you verbalize. Most cooks nowadays, again, a lot of that old school crap. They're like, hey, you cook what we eat or you don't eat. Like, that was back then. But now everybody's diets are different, especially the younger generation. Millennials, Gen Z, these dudes like, oh no, I worry about my fitness. I don't eat this. And a lot of times the best thing is let them cook. They will cook for you if you got a less healthy diet. You know what I'm saying? Right. But they don't want you cooking for them because they're like, yeah, I don't know if you're going to stick a piece of pork chop in this mug or not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, they in that bad boy start shaking on fire. Right. I got you. Like, man, this is falling out and stuff. Hey.
That's right.
Oh, wow. That's funny. So,
right, they use whole milk. I told them I don't drink almond milk.
That's right. That's right.
And you were saying about the guy that hate everybody. He the cook.
Oh, my, yeah, and some of them dudes too, man. It's just weird. It's weird. I know everybody looking for an income and a way to take care of their family, but go towards something that really goes with your personality and your character. If you don't like people, don't be around people. True. It's jobs for you. They can put you in a room, you can type all day. Like, it makes no sense.
Just answer the phone all day.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So you know, and again, I will say this. I don't care if you police or fire. If you don't have a service-oriented character, that job is going to be hard for you. Even if you're service-oriented, it's going to be hard in another way because it pulls at your heartstrings. But simultaneously, it's hard to go out there and serve people that you don't care about. You know, like, it's weird, and I've seen that too. That's why I love the position I am now, because I get to affect that right now at that time when it's happening.
It all comes down to love of the job.
Right.
Absolutely.
And love of you got to love yourself before you can love the job. Then you love the job, and the job loves you back. It may not
Absolutely.
equally 50-50, but it'll love you in a way where you can actually understand and
Yeah.
articulate it to other people.
Absolutely.
Mr. Payne, I would like to just thank you for showing up.
Yes, thank you.
In future episodes, if we could have talked literally like another couple of hours, but because there were some things I wanted to say, but we'll talk about it off camera. And I thank you for coming by. You have any social media, any websites, anything you want to kind of get out there?
So real quick, the one thing we didn't talk about, I'm also a Chicago style stepper. I do this at the Black Fire Brigade every Monday, every Tuesday, 6:30 to 8:30. DP Production and Sexy Stepping, which is my girl Salsa Tina. Big up to Salsa Tina. We're there every Monday and Tuesday, 6:30 to 8:30, teaching people how to step.
There it is.
My social media on Facebook is Darrel Payne, DP Silver Pharaoh. So that's it. That's it. I don't have a lot of social presence.
You heard it from Darrel Payne. And thank you guys for attending another episode of It's the Family Podcast. Like, subscribe. We're here for you.